In case you haven't heard, audio maker One More has been steamrolling new models out like crazy this year. It's just like one after another. And guess what? This is their latest model launched this week, the refreshingly named One More EVO. This is top of the line, made specifically to take on the Sony WF-1000XM4 as well as the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro. It packs LDAC, adaptive noise cancellation, a slim design for its type, and also Sound ID. Yes, more on that later, but regardless, we'll start by talking about the specs and then take a close-up look at the buds in the case and then go over my top likes and dislikes. Hey guys, my name is Aaron, a questionable Asian YouTuber who reviews tech for a living. And by the way, I'm giving away one of these, a black EVO, open to anyone in the world. You can check out the description down below and also watch the end of the video to find out how to win it. So let's get this, guys. The EVO retails for $170, or for about a month, it's only $140. You can check out the links down below, guys, if you want to get one. There are two colors available. There is black as well as this one, white. And there's Bluetooth 5.2 on board with Google Fast Pair and provision for AAC, SBC, and the show stealer, LDAC, which is identical to the setup with the WF-1000XM4 and Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro. The EVO has an active noise cancellation algorithm called Quiet Max, and I'll chat more about how this performs in a bit. Battery life is approximately 5.1 hours with active noise cancellation on, 60% volume, and if you activate LDAC, you can start watching the battery life plummet to 2.8 hours, but both of these numbers are comparable to the Soundcores but inferior to the Sonys. Water resistance is okay at IPX4, while weight is 5.7 grams per earbud. That's like 1.5 grams lighter than the 1000XM4 and on par with the Liberty 3 Pro. The earbuds are easier to remove from the case now thanks to a larger finger cavity compared to the color buds that I did not like. Ergonomically, that was a nightmare. But the same rule applies here as the color buds. Make sure your fingers are dry or not greasy and you'll be totally fine. The case is really nice. Matte plastic is a little bit slimmer than on the Sonys and definitely smaller than the Liberty 3 Pros. So matte plastics, and the cavity is nice and wide. The contact points are higher up, so if there's dirt here, you can just easily clean it. There's an LED status light reset button at the front, at the top right there, USB-C charging, and at the bottom we also find, just like before, soft PU padding that offers decent grip on angled surfaces and still offers wireless charging. So that's cool. Let's do the shake test since we're here. Keep the lid open. It locks in place somewhat unless you apply any kind of torque like this, and then it's done for. Pretty strong, that's good, so thumbs up to that. One thing that stands out whenever you pick up these earbuds is this shiny touch control area, and it's actually made of ceramic, covered by this glossy protector of some kind that seems to have withstood any kind of scratches during my time with it, so that's a good thing. And there's this gold chrome surround and a metal mesh grille. It adds to a high-end look, if you may, so that's a good thing, I guess. Plastics are good, seam lines are tight, and I like the teardrop design that allows you to readjust this easily in your ear. Touch controls, it supports customizable double and triple taps right here, plus a hold command for cycling through listening modes. There's a venting port on the inside edge, 3 mics per side, one under this grill right here for phone calls, a feed forward mic and a feedback mic right there, and there's the wear detection sensor that will auto pause play as needed. The grunt work is via a 10mm driver handling low and mid frequencies, combined with a balanced armature towards the end right here that specializes in the highs. And it ends with an oval ear tip covered by a mesh grill, and the ear tips are also oval. And let's see if it's easy to put on and off. It's pretty decent, not the quickest, but yeah, there you go. If you watched my last earbud video, you probably noticed the difference in color in the background here. It's greener, lots more trees blooming. And speaking of blooming, I have Bloom by Japan playing on the EVOs through the Pixel 6, and there it is sitting on the end of my deck right here. And we're gonna do the Bluetooth distance test. We're gonna see when these things have signal cutouts on the range. So these things have Bluetooth 5.2 and it's running on LDAC right now, so I'm expecting the range to be somewhat shorter. I tested these earlier with LDAC off and it lasted around about 40 something feet, 42 feet, 43 feet before it started getting cutouts, which is normal. And here I am standing around 27, 28 feet from the phone. It hasn't moved, thank goodness. How are you guys doing? So we're gonna see when these, yep, there you go, as expected, around 33 feet, and we're getting signal cutouts. I'm gonna see when these things completely disconnect from the phone. And one thing I really like about these EVOs, it continues the tradition or the recent tradition of One More, is that they have this nice, very pleasant tone when they disconnect and reconnect and such. It's kind of like a, I don't know, like a PA system. Bing boom. An elevator when it reaches its floor. Yep, I got a disconnect right there. Bing boom. And then once we're back in range, it's gonna do the same thing. You can see the fit of these in my ears as well since we're here. Thank you for joining me today. I'm sorry for the exposure issues too. The sunlight is just going from extremes and such, and I'm going from like shadows to shadow. But yeah, here it is. It barely protrudes out of my earlobe, but it does sit outside of my ear canal, like about 3 or 4 millimeters. So you definitely can't sleep with this, but they stay put. If you're working out with these, let's run. Let's take you on the run. Around my backyard here. They stay put. I can shake like crazy. My hat is the one that's moving rather than, I'm not going to try to die on the steps here, but there we go. It's pretty steady. I probably will need to adjust it every maybe a few hundred yards, but that's about it. As long as you get a good fit, it would be perfectly fine. I would recommend conform tips though. Alright, we're heading down to the road right now to get some sound samples to see how these EVOs handle noise suppression during phone calls when it's noisy. Supposedly, here comes some traffic. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. How's that sound? Not bad, right? It's not overly digitized or like you are underwater or anything. And especially right now when it's quiet. Here comes a batch of cars, but right now it's quiet. My voice is really good, right? As I switch between the G85 and the EVOs, you can tell that the 3 mics do a pretty good job in the first place. Here comes more traffic. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. How's that sound? Not bad, right? And one thing I did notice too, though, I wish they would update this, is when you get phone calls, if you're in active noise cancellation, it doesn't go into pass-through mode. I prefer it to go into pass-through because it's a nice safety feature so you can hear your surroundings while you talk to someone. And I recommend taking these, on the side of the road if you're, on a busy street or if you're running or something, you get a call. These are perfectly fine. Wind noise reduction, a little quick note about that one. It kills about 50% of the wind. I noticed this. If you go running or something, as the air hits the mics, it nullifies about 50% of it. Not bad at all. There is one small addition to the One More Music app, so this segment will be quick. Since the EVO has adaptive noise cancellation, right here in the middle under listening modes, we have 3 radio buttons stretched across and it defaults at off. And I hope One More changes this because every time you power on the earbuds, it always defaults to off no matter what mode you had it before. So in off, you move to transparency and then you have pass-through, voice enhancement. You can pick a mode you like. And then under active noise cancellation, there is adaptive or wind noise reduction, mild as well as strong. If you want to have a closer look at the One More app, like how Sound ID works, for example, feel free to follow the link above. Thank goodness, the most important bit made it to the top of my likes. Sound quality, I'm happy to report guys, is neutral, with slick mid-range as well as impressive clarity. And one example of this is when I'm listening to Stolen Moments by the Ahmad Jamal Trio. Separation and imaging is on point, and you're just gonna love listening to guitar plucks on these things. They give me goosebumps every single time. And I have to say, this is definitely my favorite sounding One More earbud ever. And the fact that it's like this straight out of box, dang man, it's impressive. And if you switch to LDAC, as long as you have the discerning ears to listen to that kind of stuff, that little extra nuance and detail from your FLAC files can really be heard. There's really solid tuning here. And if there was a pronounced chink in the armor though, it would be listening to rock. Because for some reason, songs sound shallow and woolly, like there is not enough power driving it, or the circuitry is confused by all that's going on in the background. I definitely wasn't expecting the active noise cancellation to be so close to that of a 1000XM4. Nullifying external noises out there without too much fanfare or sibilance, at least to my ears. The multi-mode as well as adaptive noise cancellation are good as well, but my biggest surprise is wind noise reduction. It's pretty darn effective. But I have to say that the response rates between modes when you switch between them, the sound quality, is definitely not as even-keeled as One More says in their charts. Because for example, with ANC at full tilt, bass is fuller, mids are lifted with highs carrying some load in the background, With ANC turned off, bass and mids are deflated with highs coming through just a little bit louder this time. But my favorite setting is definitely transparency, where the neutral SQ really gets to shine. Well, this is annoying. I encountered occasional signal dropouts in LDAC mode, like maybe once or twice per hour, and always left to right. It's something I never really experienced with either the Soundcore Liberty 3 Pro or the Sony WF-1000XM4. Well, actually I take that back, because with the Liberty 3 Pro, maybe the whole time I've owned it, maybe 3 or 4 times. But yes, LDAC is less stable than regular codecs, but the fact that it happens more than other LDAC capable buds is something I wanted to point out. I showed you a few minutes ago how these are able to stay put pretty well while running, right? But I have to say that these do begin to shift and require frequent readjustment if you perform activities with lots of jaw movements, like breathing and such, and heavy pounding. And no, that's not what I meant. I really meant rope skipping or fit workouts. Yeah, just get your mind out of the gutter, guys. This is a kid-friendly show. Actually, no, it's not. Like a lot of others out there, I'm still on the fence about Sound ID. In concept, it's a no fuss, no muss way of tuning your earbuds to your liking, but in practice, there's no guarantee you'll like what you hear after you've gone through the whole battery of A/B tests, made even more frustrating that there's no way for you to make small tweaks to the final settings afterwards. So if you want something different, you have to sit through the whole bloody process all over again. I'm wondering why One More is withholding single tap and also not allowing customization for the hold command in the controls, because as it is, double and triple taps just feel limiting. And y'all also know how I feel about jamming earbuds deeper into my ear every time I want to do a simple thing like skip a track or increase the volume. If I did my math right, I think I had more cons than pros, but the truth is they don't really detract from the sum of its parts. You can leave Sound ID out if you want to, because at the end of the day, these EVOs sound really good straight out of the box, and the mod cons that are tacked onto it perform great. It is cheaper than the XM4, but not compared to the Liberty 3 Pro. And all of these options, I'll tell you what, offer fantastic sound, but the EVO has the leg up in terms of size, but not as customizable as the other two. So with all that said, I'm giving the One More EVO a GearUP score of 8.6 out of 10. That's really strong. And this is how I broke it down to get the final score. If you have any questions about how I got there, feel free to comment down below. Well, thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back the next time. And if you'd like to find out how you can join the giveaway and win a black EVO brand new, I'll send it to anyone in the world. The details are down in the description in case you miss it, but the idea is you have to be a subscriber, and secondly, you find me on Instagram or Twitter, and then I want you to tag me in a photo or video of you doing your very own splash test, because this is what we do here in GearUP. I test all my earbuds and I do a lot of splash tests, as you all know. So I want you to submit your very own. It can be of your very own earbud or none at all, or it could be even your phone or something, as long as somebody's dunking water on you. That'll be super awesome. Submit it and I'll pick my favorite, and that will be the winner. So yeah, thank you for watching this. I hope you win. All the best in that one. Remember to subscribe to this channel if you like what I'm doing, and if you like to see more videos like this. You can also visit my Patreon page to help support me that way. And also remember to thumbs up if you like this video and comment nicely down below. And remember to do something loving and kind for somebody in this world, because guess what, guys? The world needs it more than ever, and it starts with you. Please continue to pray for the Ukrainians. 80 days of war, that's just crazy. That's just so sad. Anyways, I love you guys. God bless and peace out.